Friday was another day of impressive summertime thunderstorms, and although they are fizzling out somewhat on Friday night, we still have some going on down to the south, over South Alabama, southern Mississippi. Look at how this is all played out today. Here's a satellite, and at times you'll see a little bit of visible satellite imagery. And if you look very, very carefully, right in this area over Birmingham, you can see multiple boundaries just crashing into each other. That's one of the reasons that the storms that moved in for the Birmingham Barons and Pensacola Wahoos game in Birmingham on Friday evening, they kind of fizzled out right over top of town, and then they just kept right on rumbling down to the south across Bibb County and Greene County, Hale County, Marengo County, and even here before 10 o'clock, they are still going strong down in Monroe County and Clark County. And what will happen around here tomorrow is just essentially more of the same. Really, we get a ridge that sort of develops right in this area here. Ridges tend to suppress thunderstorm activity a little bit, so we'll draw the H right there. This one's not very strong, and since there are lots of little boundaries, like that one right there, for example, and what's going to be left over here, and what's likely to be left over right here, these continue to move in the overnight hours, and it becomes a little chaotic. So you got one moving north here, you got one that's probably moving a little bit more that direction, and then there appears to be some energy coming this way, and then some of that energy is moving in that direction. So it's just all over the place. That's why I call it thunderstorm chaos, and we're going to do more of this on Saturday. But look what's going on to the west. Big batch of thunderstorms tomorrow morning out here over eastern Oklahoma, northwestern Arkansas, and then down into Texas. Keep an eye on the energy that's creating some storms right in here. Remember, we've got this ridge developing, which tends to get rid of thunderstorms. So most of the day, underneath the ridge, we're probably not seeing a whole lot. But that ridge is not going to be strong enough to suppress every single thunderstorm because we are going to have a lot of unstable air, especially in this area where we had a lot of rain today and we've got time to destabilize with a mostly clear sky and some sunshine over northwest Alabama on Saturday afternoon. And then you got even more instability up here to the northwest and even more down here to the south. What's going on around Birmingham, though? What's happening here in Jefferson and Shelby counties to potentially reduce the amount of instability? Well, there may already be a few isolated showers developing by that point. In fact, by 6 p.m., here we go again. You got a couple of isolated heavy storms. And then what's happening to the north, and this is using the HRRR model, the HRRR, some of the guidance has suggested that this batch of storms here may actually be a little farther south and then move south, something like that right there through Saturday evening. So what I want you to think about is if this is in this position, where does it go? It probably ends up Huntsville, Decatur, Albertville, Scottsboro, maybe as far southeast as Gadsden by 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Forecast models are not going to nail it. They never do. But I think a general idea is some hit or miss thunderstorms in this area, and then you got a greater cluster of storms, greater potential for more widespread rain, Nashville to Huntsville, and then after sunset, some of those storms may make it into central Alabama too. So by that point, what you see here on the HRRR is, well, somewhat useless. And that's what it was today. The HRRR didn't pick up on any of those storms that came into the central part of the state. All we knew is that we had the storms in Mississippi and they were moving southeast, and there was a pretty good chance that in spite of what the modeling showed, they were going to hold together. Same thing's going to happen on Saturday. And that's one reason that we lowered the temperature by a degree on Saturday afternoon. Here's the new forecast. 88 Saturday. It's still going to feel pretty hot, though. The heat index will be up around 90 to 92 degrees. If we don't have thunderstorms, the Barons and the Blue Wahoos are going to get that first pitch underway around 6:30 p.m. It is WVTM 13 Military Appreciation Night out at the Regions Field, and it should be a nice night as long as we can keep the storms away for a change. Mother's Day. Check this out. High temperatures are going to be up in the upper 80s and lower 90s. The heat index, though, yikes. 92 to 95, maybe a few spots close to 96. But also notice what's going on up here. Looks a little cooler in Jackson, Madison, and DeKalb counties. That's where it's entirely possible that we'll have a few more scattered thunderstorms. Then we get here into Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday. We get a bit of disturbed weather here. Now, the rain chance is somewhat negotiable. out here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Do we still have rain around on Wednesday and Thursday, or does the drier air cut most of that away? What we think is probably going to happen is enough dry air comes in to suppress thunderstorms for Thursday and Friday. Might even squeak Wednesday out dry, but certainly I think there's still some thunderstorm action around on Tuesday. So how much rain are we looking at here with this daily chance of thunderstorms? Well, some places naturally are going to get more than others. You look down to the south, in South Alabama, Northwest Florida, there may be a greater concentration of storms here. And then you go from a place where we might have a half inch to an inch versus maybe 1 or 2 inches of rain. And just as a reminder, some of these storms can get strong now and then this time of year. It doesn't take a whole lot. Then by next Friday, look at that, the high about 85, the morning low about 65. Beyond the 7-day forecast, there's a good chance that temperatures are lower than normal. Normal would be 82 in the afternoon, about 60 at night, so we're thinking probably about maybe 55 at night, 79, 80 in the afternoon. It's not incredibly cool, but it's certainly cooler than where we have been lately.